Hello beautiful people, on today's episode of Fashion Tips and Trick, I'm here to tell you the difference between ironing and pressing. A lot of people don't know the difference between these two, and I can tell you that if you iron wrongly, it can make or mar your dress or your measurement especially. Ironing is when you are constantly pressing your iron against your fabric and ironing in either a circular motion or whatever direction you want it to face without lifting the iron up. You will notice that sometimes we are just engrossed in the ironing and we are just ironing against the surface of the fabric without even giving the fabric a break. That is ironing. While pressing is giving the fabric a break. Put the iron, pause, put the iron, pause, put the iron, pause. That is pressing. So I decided to do an experiment. I cut my 6 inches by 4 inches Ankara into a square shape. I made sure I had 2 pieces of it so that one I will iron one and I'm going to press one. So I will see if there's actually a difference. So the first one I decided to iron it. I ironed it into all directions and all without lifting up my iron. And yes, it was well ironed. Yeah, I already noticed that the fabric looked tensed and somehow, but that doesn't matter. I cut off the excess interface and I set aside. I took the other piece, the other sample, and I pressed, put and press, press and lift, press and lift, press and lift. I just pressed, I didn't iron it. I trimmed also the excesses. The excess now, this time around, this particular sample did not look so tensed or whatever. So I pressed once again and I decided to check if my measurements are still the same. The first thing I did was to check if both aligned. I could see that the direction of the one I ironed is kind of inverted. I marked it here, and the direction of the one I pressed still remain. So that means my square for the one that I ironed tilted, and the one that I pressed remains the same. So eventually the measurement also, the one that I ironed shrinked a little by 0.25, while the one I pressed did not shrink at all. Decided to try with a different material, which is a normal lining, and a different interface, which this time around I used paper stay. Initially I used stay, and I can tell you that this one even expanded rather than shrinking. So depending on the fabric you are using and depending on the heat too, your fabric can either shrink or expand. So this is my suggestion. When it comes to your seams, you iron, but when it comes to the rest of the cloth or the fabric, you press. Not knowing when to press or when to iron can either make or mar your dress, or can either make or mar your measurements. You have learnt this. Bye.